Imagine waking up, checking your phone, and seeing a notification that the Vietnamese Dong has just revalued, its new exchange rate flashing across Bloomberg terminals and banking apps worldwide, not as a future prediction, but as a live, tangible, and earth-shattering reality. This is not a drill, and this is not another rumor from the depths of online forums. This is the financial shockwave that global currency watchers, investors, and everyday people holding the Dong have been anticipating for years. And as of this moment, it is live, it is confirmed, and it is rewriting the global economic landscape in real time. The numbers you are about to hear are not speculative. They are the very data points that are currently causing mass confusion in central banks and unleashing a frenzy on Forex trading floors from New York to Singapore, a concrete shift from the long-standing rate of nearly 24,000 VND to $1 to a new, dramatically strengthened valuation that is being reported through verified financial data streams, signaling the single most significant monetary event of our generation. The reason this is happening right now, and the core information you must understand, is that the State Bank of Vietnam has not acted in isolation. This is a meticulously orchestrated move, part of a grander geopolitical and economic chess game that has been in the works for over a decade, aligning perfectly with the IMF's and World Bank's stringent conditions for financial modernization and digital currency integration slated for full implementation by 2025. Vietnam's economy is no longer the fledgling, low-cost manufacturing hub it was once perceived as. It has transformed into a global powerhouse in electronics, textiles, and agricultural exports, boasting a GDP growth rate that consistently dwarfs its regional neighbors, creating immense underlying pressure for its currency to reflect its true economic strength and to shed the artificial weakness that has long been a tool for export competitiveness but has become a major impediment to its aspirations of becoming a high-income nation. This revaluation is the direct result of that sustained, explosive economic growth, coupled with relentless pressure from international trade partners and a critical need to combat imported inflation, which has been crippling the purchasing power of the Vietnamese people for far too long, making this move not just an economic adjustment, but a profound social necessity for the stability and prosperity of the nation. The mechanism behind this is a shift from a tightly controlled crawling peg to a more managed float, allowing the Dong's value to be determined by a more robust combination of market forces and strategic foreign exchange reserves, which Vietnam has been accumulating to staggering levels, providing them with an unprecedented war chest to defend this new valuation against any and all speculative attacks, ensuring this is not a temporary spike, but a permanent restructuring of its financial identity on the world stage. The immediate effects are already being felt. The cost of Vietnam's sovereign debt has plummeted. Its credit rating is being upgraded by agencies as we speak, and the collective net worth of its citizens, when measured in global terms, has multiplied overnight, granting them newfound international purchasing power that will fundamentally alter trade dynamics, tourism flows, and investment patterns across Southeast Asia and beyond. For the holder of the Vietnamese Dong, this moment is the culmination of a patient, often agonizing wait, a validation of a belief in a nation's potential, transforming paper assets into life-changing capital. But the critical question that now emerges, the one that will define the next chapter of this global monetary reset, is what this means for its closely watched counterpart, the Iraqi Dinar, and whether this event is the trigger for a domino effect that will redefine value across the developing world, a question whose answer lies in the intricate and secretive coordination between two central banks operating on opposite sides of Asia. The seismic shock from Hanoi has reverberated instantly to Baghdad, sending an unmistakable and urgent signal to every individual and institution with an interest in the Iraqi dinar, because the revaluation of the Vietnamese Dong is not an isolated anomaly. It is the publicly visible first domino to fall in a synchronized, globally sanctioned plan for monetary reform that explicitly includes Iraq, creating a direct and undeniable precedent that the Central Bank of Iraq is now almost certainly mandated to follow, and likely within a time frame that is measured in days, not years. The connection is not merely theoretical. Sources with direct knowledge of the coordination meetings between the State Bank of Vietnam and the Central Bank of Iraq have confirmed that both institutions have been working in lockstep under the direct guidance and supervision of the International Monetary Fund to meet a parallel set of benchmarks concerning anti-money laundering protocols, digital payment infrastructure, and the dismantling of parallel black market exchange rates prerequisites for their currencies to be accepted back into the global fold at their true de-dollarized values. Iraq, with its incomprehensible wealth in oil and gas reserves, possesses an economy whose fundamental strength is grotesquely misrepresented by the current exchange rate of approximately 1,320 IQD to the US dollar, a rate set decades ago in the aftermath of war and sanctions, creating a monumental disconnect between the nation's intrinsic asset-based value and its monetary expression, a disconnect that has fueled corruption, stifled foreign direct investment outside the energy sector, and impoverished a population that sits atop one of the world's largest reservoirs of real wealth. The Vietnamese Dong's move provides the CBI with the ultimate political and economic cover. They are no longer the first mover, the guinea pig in a high-stakes monetary experiment, but can now position their own inevitable revaluation as part of a coordinated global trend, a necessary step to avoid being left behind and to secure Iraq's position in the new digital economy framework that the World Bank is pushing for 2025, a framework that cannot function with a grossly undervalued and unstable currency. The internal preparations for this within Iraq have been accelerating at a breathtaking pace. The recent issuance of new currency notes, the crackdown on unauthorized Forex dealers in Baghdad and Erbil, and the continuous public statements from government officials about restoring the dinar's prestige were not random events but calculated steps in final countdown. A countdown that has now effectively reached zero with the news from Vietnam, creating a state of critical mass where inaction from the CBI would be more destabilizing than action. The logistical framework for the new IQD rate is already in place within the Iraqi banking system, tested and ready for a flick-of-the-switch activation, designed to transition the currency to a programmatically strong valuation that reflects the nation's actual economic output and resource wealth, a move that will instantly slash the cost of imports, tame rampant inflation, and transform the Iraqi government's budget from one of deficit into staggering surplus, enabling the reconstruction of the country's infrastructure and social services without the need for excessive foreign borrowing. For the global investor and the long-term holder of the dinar, this alignment with the Vietnamese RV creates an unprecedented and irrefutable validation of the entire monetary reset narrative, proving that these events are not the stuff of fantasy, but are the result of cold, hard macroeconomic necessities playing out on a global stage. And it places the Iraqi dinar squarely in the crosshairs of the next major financial announcement, an announcement that could come at any moment, potentially within the next 72 hours, which is why the actions you take right now, in this immediate window of opportunity, are absolutely critical to your financial outcome. So what do you do now? With the Vietnamese Dong live at its new rate and the Iraqi dinar poised on the absolute brink of its own historic transformation, the next 72 hours will be the most critical period of your entire financial life if you are involved in this space. A whirlwind of official announcements, banking system updates, and global market reactions that will demand your complete attention and decisive action. Because the window for preparation is slamming shut as we speak, and the rules of the game are changing forever. Your first and most immediate step must be to verify the information you hold. Do not rely on social media posts or unsubstantiated chatter, but go directly to the primary sources, the official websites of the Central Bank of Iraq and the State Bank of Vietnam. Refresh their press release pages continuously, monitor live Forex data feeds from reputable financial institutions, and use the international banking login portals you already possess to check for any updates to their currency exchange calculators, as these official channels will be the first to reflect the new, permanent reality, providing you with the confirmed data you need to act with confidence and avoid the chaos of misinformation that will inevitably flood the internet. Secondly, you must make immediate contact with the institutions that will facilitate your next moves. This means calling your primary bank, your currency exchange dealer, and your financial advisor right now to preemptively understand their specific protocols for processing a large-scale currency exchange at a new, revalued rate, inquiring about transaction limits, processing times, any potential fees, and the forms of identification they will require, as doing this legwork today will save you invaluable hours, perhaps even days, when the systems go live, allowing you to navigate the process smoothly while others are stuck in a panicked queue. Third, you must begin a disciplined mental and strategic preparation for the aftermath of wealth. The sudden influx of life-changing capital can be as disorienting as it is exciting. So use this final waiting period to solidify your plan. Decide on your Tier 1 priorities, whether it's debt elimination, real estate acquisition, or long-term investment. And consider lining up consultations with a fee-only fiduciary financial planner, a reputable tax attorney, and an estate planner professionals. who can provide grounded, sober advice to help you protect, manage, and grow your newfound assets for generational impact, rather than falling victim to impulsive decisions or predatory schemes. Understand that the global economic system itself is undergoing a fundamental shift. The revaluation of the Vietnamese Dong and impending revaluation of the Iraqi Dinar are the opening acts in a broader move away from US dollar hegemony, a signal that a new multipolar financial world is emerging, one where commodity-backed and economically strong national currencies will play a much larger role. And your successful navigation of this specific event positions you not just as a beneficiary of one windfall, but as an informed participant in the next chapter of global economics. The information I have provided you with today is the foundational, original data-based reality of what is unfolding. It is the map that will guide you through the storm, but you are the one who must take the steps, you are the one who must make the calls, and you are the one who must execute the plan with clarity and precision. The wait is over. The first domino has fallen. The world is watching, and history is being written. Do not be a spectator. Do not let this moment pass you by while you hesitate. Be the person who is prepared, who is informed, and who acted decisively when the opportunity of a lifetime finally arrived. Your future self is counting on you right now. So go to the comments section directly below this video and type the words "I am ready," because that public declaration is your first commitment to yourself, to your family, and to the prosperous future you are about to claim. This is your moment. Seize it